Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Paige Campbell Show, episode 7, The 7 Deadly Sins. There are now 7 deadly episodes you can go to YouTube and listen to. Type in the Paige Campbell Show. Today we have Noah Clarke.
G'day.
And Nick Piccinino.
Hello.
How have you guys been? How was your weekend?
It was okay.
It's Monday. We're recording on Monday. So how was your weekend?
Good weekend.
Good
It
weekend?
was pretty good. Nothing significant,
Right.
really.
I had a great weekend. I went to Heroes Con in Charlotte, North Carolina. It was a comic convention. Great convention. Make sure you listen to the end of this episode. We have an exclusive interview with Mark Waid, a comics extraordinaire, Mark Waid. He's a great writer. He's an Eisner Award-winning writer. Make sure you listen to the end because you're not going to want to miss that interview.
Any highlights you want to share?
Oh, man, it was a great... I met Kevin Eastman. You know Kevin Eastman, co-creator of the Ninja Turtles. And while I was in line for Kevin Eastman, I met a guy named Brad Bell. He's a very cool guy. And he has a podcast called the Confirmed Epic Podcast. So he was a cool guy. I figured I'd give him a shout-out.
Give him a listen.
Tell people to listen to his podcast. Listen to the Confirmed Epic Podcast. You can download his podcast off of his website called... This is key. It's theepicreview.com, but the epic is spelled with one E because the epic was already taken. So it's thepicreview.com. THEPIC review.com.
Nice.
So yeah, definitely give him a listen. It's a movie reviews podcast. They talk about some other stuff too, but it's a movie reviews podcast. I got to meet Matt Fraction. Matt Fraction was cool. I got a picture with Darth Vader.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I got a ton of books signed. I got about 50 street passes.
I saw your vines. Were those legit pieces
They were not.
from Star Wars?
It was a group called like the 51st Legion or whatever. I'm not sure their exact name, but they do Star Wars. They go to like stuff dressed up as Star Wars characters. So they were at this convention. But like in order to be a member, your stuff has to be screen accurate. So it's not stuff that was used in the movies, but it has to be screen accurate. So it's pretty much the same thing.
Awesome.
And they actually is interesting because they're in the third movie. Do you remember that scene where Anakin walks into the he walks into the temple and like kills all the Padawans and stuff?
Yeah.
That scene where the clone troopers, that's the 51st Legion, or whatever
cool.
their names is. Yeah, because they'd been dressing up as Star Wars characters so long, George Lucas needed some extras, and he actually called them. So they're actually in the third movie, which is interesting. Too bad the prequels are awful.
Yeah, well.
So, Heroes Con, it goes on every year. This was like the 32nd one ever. Go. If you like comics, if you like anything, Star Wars... stuff like that, go. It's very fun. Kevin Eastman.
North Carolina, right?
North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina. Kevin Eastman, Mark Waid, Matt Fraction. You get to meet the big names. But yeah, it's cool too because like San Diego Comic-Con in that's the big one,
Mm-hmm.
In San Diego, obviously. That's become more of a media fest than a comic convention.
Yeah.
This is run by a store, a comic store called Heroes Aren't Hard to Find or whatever, and their goal is to have like a comics only convention.
Awesome.
So they've got a few other things, but there's no like,
Movie stars?
there's no movie stars or anything. It's
That's
all
sweet.
it's all comic book writers. So I had a great time. It was a very very good time, and make sure you listen to the end because Mark Waid is at the end. We have a Mark Waid interview at the end of this episode.
Wish I was a part of that.
Oh man, Mark Waid, it was. I just want to say, if he's listening, he's probably not, but it was an absolute honor to interview him. He's, it's cool when you meet one of your heroes. I've been reading his books for a long time now, and it's cool when you meet one of your heroes and he's just like actually how you envisioned him. And he was honestly like one of the most humble, down to earth guys that I've ever talked to. So it's really cool. There are a lot of writers. That aren't really a big deal and think they're a big deal,
Yeah.
He's a huge deal, and he didn't act like he was a big deal
That's
at all.
sweet.
So, yeah, he was a really cool guy to talk to. Noah, you have a topic for us. Let's get
Yeah.
into your topic.
Let's talk about awkward situations.
Oh,
They
nice.
happen a lot.
That's a good topic.
You guys have any favorite awkward situations?
I'm going to have to think a little bit.
There's always the classic, oh, he or she wasn't waving to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's
You
classic.
wait-
Yeah.
you
Someone.
wave.
Yeah, that is a classic.
Or like
You can always do the oh, I was just rubbing the side of my head type thing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
this happens a
There's a-
lot.
Or same thing with high fives. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean? Like
this-
someone goes up and there's someone behind you, and you're like, oh, no.
The type of thing happens
Mhm.
a lot, like with old people, especially. Only in most cases, it's more of like the awkward handshake thing, you know,
Mhm.
where they wave or something, and you think they're going for a handshake, and you stick your hand out,
Mhm.
but then they don't,
Right.
and then they stick out their hand for a handshake after you've stuck yours out, but put it back.
Uh huh.
So you're just sort of in an endless cycle of is he going for it or what, you know?
That's the worst. What I said about high fives too, when someone does something you like, you know, and you raise your hand for a high five and they don't see you and you're just holding it, awkward.
You get
They leave you hanging. You get left hanging.
There's also that classic awkward moment where
Oh, okay.
No.
Nick.
I
no, I
see.
was
Where you
legitimately
forget what you're
Awkward
gonna say.
silence.
awkward silence. That's right.
Yeah.
That was an awkward one.
Or like when you like slur in your speech and say something kind of inappropriate,
Oh yeah, yeah.
but you know
I was like, I did one of those. No, yeah. Last week on the show, we were talking about games.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I said unfarted.
unfarted.
Yeah, that's the type of thing. Yeah.
It's worse in more of a public setting when like you're talking to like a crowd of people or something like that.
Mhm.
When you're
I'm never in that situation, but it's
also,
awkward.
also when you're hanging around someone and they get in an argument with their parent.
Oh,
or
that's the
someone
worst.
They know, and
Yeah.
you're just standing
Their
there.
parents are just like screaming at
Yeah.
them, and you're just like,
You don't know what to do.
Oh man,
Love it.
that's a good one. I'm glad you brought that to attention. That's a really good one.
I guess I'll just play Flappy Bird.
Yeah.
until this resolves.
That's a very good one. Yeah. Got any more? I can't really.
I don't know, but you know, life's awkward usually.
That's a great topic.
So,
yeah.
yeah.
There's a lot of awkward situations for sure, but that's a really good one. You got a topic, Nick?
I actually came.
We
up
can
with-
come back to
I
that if
actually
you
have
pick-
a topic. Yes.
You do? All right.
I'm going to talk about vines.
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 Okay.
And here's the thing. Nowadays, people are considered Vine famous.
Right.
It's an interesting concept. It's because usually
Yeah.
a long time ago, in order to be famous, you had to be like a movie star, a musician, or an actor and stuff.
Right.
What's going on? Are we entering in a new
Yeah,
times?
are they really famous?
Well, I mean,
or-
the thing is, there's a difference between just because you're famous doesn't necessarily mean you're rich, and just because you're rich doesn't necessarily mean you're famous.
but they act like
right?
they are.
Right,
The
yeah,
people that are
and
Vine
so yeah,
famous.
being Vine famous, I guess it's kind of cool, but like you're not rich, you're not making money.
Yeah.
Like on YouTube, I'm YouTube. I wouldn't say I'm famous, but on YouTube, right, you can get monetization and actually make money off of
Yeah.
it. But Vine, there's no ads. You're just,
Yeah, that's
if
a
you're
good
good
point.
at something, you should never give it away for free. If you're, what? If you're good at something, it's an awkward. If you're good at something, you should never give it away for free, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of Vine. You're giving away your talent.
Giving away
Yeah.
6 seconds of
6 seconds of
personal
fame.
life.
And once they get famous, their vines they just turn to crap, sort of, I think. It's
That's
more
true.
of
Well, that happens with
a
any. I think
self-pride type thing. Whoops.
that kind of happens with any type of fame, in my opinion. When it's do or die, and someone has to be famous, and someone has to be like good, they are, and then when they're already famous, they can do whatever they want, and people will support it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I think of a good example is like comedians. A lot of comedians that I like, they're like really poor and they're living in their car or whatever, and they film their first special, and their first special is always like hilarious,
Mhm.
right? But then 3 or 4 years down the road, they do another special, and they're married, they have kids, and they're already rich, and so people are gonna laugh no matter what they say, honestly.
Yeah.
I think in a way they're more afraid to take risks
Right.
because they've already made it that far, so they kind of play it safe and kind of go with generic type things.
And yeah, and then there's those that like start out in like stand up and then become like famous like comedy movie stars,
Right.
and they just can't go back to stand up because people are going to just automatically expect them to be funny, but they haven't done material in so long.
That's
It's
true,
like
yeah.
impossible to get back into it.
That's a good point. Yeah, I mean, it's one of the actors do the same thing, Actors are really good in like an indie movie or two, right?
Yeah.
And then, they get offered a huge big budget movie, and it may be a good movie, but a lot of the times it's not. But they're not going to turn down a $25 million check. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate. It's a thing I don't like to see.
Do you guys want something to drink?
What happens? I'd love a drink. If you could give me.
We're recording from the comfort of my own home.
Yeah, we actually are in Noah's home today, so it's very nice. Very nice setting. I like it. Very comfortable setting.
So I think we're gonna have a special
Wait,
guest.
We're having a special guest here. Quenton Clarke, Noah's brother. You have a topic for us?
Yeah,
Quenton? Okay. Speaking of the mic, any mic.
Quenton, welcome to the studio.
Hi, thank you, Nick. You just come over here and borrow Noah's mic. Sat on the keyboard. No, I just have a quick topic because I'm about to make wieners for everybody.
Okay.
And so I think we should discuss wiener opinions. So I've got Ballpark's Finest.
Right.
They're their smokehouse barbecue season. Do you want to just pass that around? I know our audience can't see this right now, but they're some fine looking wieners.
They are. They're frozen at this point, but
Well,
I can't wait to.
I'll be grilling them. So
yeah, I can't wait. I love. Oh, are you
That's the way
saying
to
like
cook
how
some
they're
wieners.
prepared?
Well, no,
I-
I'm just. This is the first example. I've got
Okay.
another.
I see
Oh,
the,
you have
the
more
picture on
examples.
the front looks nice.
Because
It's a little
prepared
100%
wise, I think
beef.
grilled is the
Oh,
way
I'm
to
definitely
go.
going to be
You know,
grilling. I
sometimes
think that's the only way to
People
go.
put them in,
Looks
you know.
nice.
Forget here, wait.
Yeah, definitely.
Sometimes people,
Doesn't
yeah,
have any
sometimes
preservatives in
boil.
it.
Sometimes people put them in ovens
I
and
don't.
bake
I don't
them.
like that.
No,
Mm.
you got to grill
That's
it.
weird.
That's the way
Well, unless
to
you're
go.
deep frying them.
Grilling-
Okay. Have
grilling
you've
makes
seen
everything
that,
better.
People that do like the rippers, where they deep fry
Yeah.
them, they
Rippers.
they
Oh,
rip
yeah.
open
I'll
because
tell you
they
a-
deep fry them. And
I like
meat's
wieners
just-
dipped in corn batter, and I'm of course talking about corn dogs.
okay, yeah,
Corn dogs are
we
excellent.
do some corn dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Love corn dogs.
Anyways, so we've got
Chopped
these,
up in,
and we've got the
bean
Oscar
wieners.
Mayer wieners.
Okay.
Like classic Oscar Mayer beef franks.
Mm-hmm. I think
So-
Oscar Mayer might.
Shout out to anyone named Frank out there.
Yeah.
I think there was a theme song way back. Oscar Mayer theme song.
I wish I was an Oscar Mayer.
I
wiener.
wish I was an Oscar Mayer wiener.
Yeah.
Can
Can
you
you
wanna
sing?
sing it
You
for us,
sing pretty
Nick?
well, Nick. Can
Well,
you?
I-
We'll play the theme on the piano.
Play the theme on the piano.
And I would like for you to sing it
Here,
for
can you
us.
get a lyric sheet?
I don't
Is
know.
that
I
possible?
think you
I
probably
wish
know
I
it
was
pretty
an
well.
Oscar Mayer wiener.
Yeah, that's-
And if
And then I don't know the rest.
I honestly, yeah.
I could look it up. If I look it up, will you sing this, Nick?
Well, don't way to put me on the spot here.
Is this an awkward?
No.
No. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna waste my my effort.
yeah, your battery, your
Um,
phone battery's gonna die if you try to look.
if-
that up.
yeah.
That'd be a waste.
I think the Oscar Mayer wieners take the cake, and I'll tell you why. Because
Why's
of the
that?
Wienermobile. The
But
Wienermobile.
do they still have a Wienermobile?
That's a good question.
That was a good like '90s, early
oh
2000s
so good.
thing.
I
don't think
they
it's
did.
around anymore.
Oh, is it not?
I
Ah.
haven't seen one. I mean,
There was a
how often
point
do you
in
see
time
one?
where you could sign up for like a summer and drive it. Like you would go on like a 3-month
Really?
3-month shift, and then after 3 months you'd
I'd
just give it to someone
buy a
else.
couple of those, race them.
Oh my gosh!
Be pretty fun.
I mean,
Have a
like
couple
you'd go to
wiener
jail,
races.
but taking the Wienermobile on a joyride, that would be great.
I tell you what.
Oh man.
So anyway,
fast, too furious.
I'm asking the opinion because I gotta cook these because they're freezing my hands
Okay.
currently.
I'll tell you what I like. I like the ones. A lot of people don't like these, but I like the ones that have cheese in the middle.
Yeah, we don't have those.
Oh.
Have
are
you ever
good.
had chili cheese dogs?
Oh yeah. See, that's the
Yeah.
way they're prepared. Like chili
I can
cheese
put
dogs
cheese
are great.
on them while I'm grilling. What do you think about that? We've got some habanero cheese upstairs.
That could be good.
Take some little slices, put them on them.
I could get into that.
I could do that. So do we like the Ballpark's Finest, or do we want to hit
Do a
up
mixture
the
of both.
Oscar Myers?
I'll tell you what. Do a mixture of
Do
both,
both?
and we can
Okay.
do a comparison.
Just thinking
Kind
it'd
of.
be-
Actually, you know what? Maybe we can come back and
We could do a live
talk about it on the
comparison.
show. Do a live comparison.
It'd be
yeah.
nice
I like
to get
that
a little
idea.
scallop and lobster action on those.
On wieners,
Well, a seafood surf
Seafood,
and turf.
seafood hot dog.
Seafood hot dog.
a seafood hot dog. I could get into that. I like seafood a lot. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, if you could bring them down, and we'll do a live what we think is better,
Okay.
Oscar
All
Mayer
right.
or
Well, then I'll just go cook
beef frank.
probably this whole pack and then another whole pack of.
Okay. Oscar Mayer.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
All right. It's great to be on the show, Paige.
Oh, that's great.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Got to come back. Now we'd like to welcome back Noah Clarke.
Thanks, guys.
That was
Back.
Noah's brother, Quenton. Thanks for the water, Noah. Really
welcome.
appreciate it. Did you get a drink, Nick?
I did get a drink. Thank
You got a
very
water?
much. Hold on 1 second. Oh. This is
Yeah, that's
Courtesy
a
of
good like.
Clarke family
Niagara water.
household.
I never thought of like hot dogs can be prepared in many different ways.
They can really.
So that was a good little
You
mini
got your
topic.
Chicago style. You got your New York.
Yeah, but talk about some other foods that can be prepared in different ways. What ways do you like those prepared?
The sandwich.
Okay.
Is one of my favorite.
Oh, there's a
Just
million
like,
different sandwiches. That's an endless.
It's perfect. It's
Mhm.
you can put anything between two pieces of bread and you've got a meal.
That's true.
I feel like
I had a sandwich
anything
today for lunch.
food wise.
One thing, did you, Nick? You had a
I
sandwich for
did.
lunch?
It was whole wheat bread, smokehouse ham,
Mm-hmm.
turkey, spinach, horseradish mustard,
Okay.
and mayonnaise.
Nick makes good sandwiches. I've seen him. I've seen his sandwiches
At
and they're
school,
nice,
yeah, at lunchtime.
Thank
One
you.
thing that comes to mind for me, we're talking about foods being prepared different ways. Pizza.
Pizza,
Pizza comes to
Yes.
mind. A
Deep
million
dish.
different pizzas. Love deep dish.
cheesy crust,
Cheesy
Yes.
crust. Oh my gosh, stuffed crust.
squared.
Stuffed crust is so good. One thing I'm not a big
Square's
fan
fine.
of is flatbread pizza.
Really?
Do you like it? I don't hate it, but it's of all the ways to prepare pizza, it's the worst.
It has its I guess it has its upsides if you're not a crust fan
right.
in a way, but it depends because regular
I like a
pizza.
big doughy crust.
Yeah, like the doughy crust of a regular, fixed pizza
Mm-hmm.
is you can't beat it. But then if you're in the mood for something crunchy,
Mm-hmm.
you've got the crunch of the flatbread, and I kind of dig it.
Here's another question. Pizza base, the sauce.
Oh,
There are
that's
different kinds
true.
of sauces.
Yeah.
There's a tomato-based sauce. Like you have like a creamy-based sauce.
Right.
And you
Alfredo.
can- Alfredo.
You could have
type
Alfredo.
sauce.
I had an
And
interesting-
a pesto sauce. That
I had an interesting sauce
Pesto's good.
on
Pesto's good.
over the weekend when I was at Heroes Con. We went to a pizza place. I forget the name of it. It was good. But it's in North Carolina. But it was it was a barbecue pizza, and they used barbecue sauce for the sauce,
Mhm.
right? And then there was like chicken on it, and there was
Yeah,
cheese.
barbecue is.
It was interesting.
That's a good.
That's
way
a good
to fix
sauce.
Pizza. Speaking of sauces and
Mhm.
Italian stuff, there's a lot of ways to prepare spaghetti too.
That's true. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a good point. You could have Alfredo,
Mm-hmm.
have the classic marinara. What are some other ways?
Well, there's a way we sometimes have it where there's not much of a sauce, but it's more just like ingredients sort of cooked together and then poured over the noodles, and that's pretty good.
Okay.
Sounds-
And then I think it's considered Chicago style to put chili on spaghetti noodles.
Chili on
and
spaghetti. I've never
that's-
tried
that's
that.
Amazing.
That sounds good.
It'll change your life.
I like I like the different like you can do meat, but you can also do like mushrooms.
Mhm.
I like mushrooms, meatballs. I'm a big meatball. fan.
Yeah, meatballs are good.
Meatball on spaghetti, but meatball subs.
Meatball subs.
You like meatball
are-
subs?
Meatball subs.
That's another
many
one.
ways to
Meatball.
prepare
Subs.
Great.
Subs are there's a million different types of subs.
Have you guys had hoagies?
Hoagies
Hoagies, yeah.
are good.
Philadelphia hoagies.
Mhm.
My goodness.
Philadelphia's the way to go, man.
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
Philly cheesesteak.
There's that and the.
Brotherly love.
I know you've been there. Have you been to Philadelphia at least once?
Yeah.
Reading Terminal
Couple
Market,
times,
right?
yeah.
Yes, yes,
Have you
yes.
had the I can't think of what the name of the sandwich is, but it's like it's there's like a meat sub with like a broccoli thing on it or something. Do you know what I'm
I
talking
saw
about?
it there. I didn't try it.
I can't think of what it's called.
I've never
but
heard of that.
It's
Mm.
supposed to be one of the best sandwiches on the East Coast.
Was it really good?
It was
Real
amazing.
quick, I want to go back to pizza a little bit.
Let's go back.
What are some of your favorite places to get pizza from?
Domino's is pretty good.
Domino's is good. I want to say Pizza Hut.
Really?
Pizza Hut has very good pizza,
I haven't been there
but
in a while.
one of my favorite things about Pizza Hut is stuffed crust.
Mm-hmm.
Love the stuffed crust. It's so good.
Maria's makes pretty good pizza. It's kind of on the expensive side.
That's in Stanton.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, go to
in
Maria's.
Stanton.
I wanna, Maria's. If you're ever in Stanton, go to Maria's Pizza.
I just got water.
We've all got waters.
Just got water.
Is it? You wanna say something?
Do you want to be on the podcast? It's
All
my
right.
little sister.
Jump in. This is Marina Clarke, Noah's sister.
What do you want to
Just
say?
Just do you have a topic? You can give us a topic.
Drinks?
Speaking of the mic.
What do you want to drink?
What?
Right now I'm drinking water.
Marina wants to talk about drinks.
What are some of your favorite types of drinks?
Well, currently upstairs we have
Speaking of the mic.
Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew. There's Mountain Dew upstairs.
Baja Blast.
Baja Blast. And there's Pepsi Throwback.
Throwback Pepsi. You guys like? I don't drink soda. by the
Baja
way,
as an
but-
aha.
I
Haha.
haven't either, honestly. But
Okay. Then there's tea.
But we have it.
There's
no, those
tea
are good drinks.
upstairs.
I've had them in the past. Those are good drinks. Baja. You guys have Baja Blast?
Yeah, they recently started selling
I
it.
was gonna say I thought that was a Taco Bell exclusive
Yeah,
drink.
that's what it says on the box. It's like originally Taco Bell original.
Okay,
or
I was
something
gonna
like
say.
Got it in New Orleans.
Oh, did you?
that. I don't know. I don't remember.
Somewhere down there.
Nice. So
Walmart.
maybe they don't sell. They only in New Orleans you can buy it off the shelf.
Maybe.
Probably not.
Maybe it could be only on Bourbon Street. You can buy
Somewhere.
it off the shelf.
Shout out to Taco Bell.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like New Orleans, Marina?
Yeah.
Because I know you guys
It
went.
was alright.
It was alright. I like
It's
New
good.
Orleans. It's nice. They have good food.
Yeah.
Do you have good food up there?
Mhm.
What food? What do you have?
We had po' boys.
Oh, okay.
And what else do we have, Noah?
I believe we talked about this on
We
episode
talked about it, but she might have had
4.
something different. That's the thing.
5, maybe. I think it was episode 5.
I think 5? Maybe 5. No. 5 was E3. No, it was 5.
It
because
was 5.
E3 you got back
Mhm.
from.
Mhm.
Nice.
So number is this?
This is 7.
7?
7 deadly
Yep.
sins.
Well, thanks for being on, Marina.
Thanks
Okay.
for being. I appreciate it. You were a great guest.
Pleasure.
All right, that was a good topic. Drinks. You know, we're talking about foods.
Mhm.
What drinks do you like?
I'm a big water fan.
Mhm.
That's pretty basic though. I like sweet tea.
I mean, you gotta have water. Sweet tea's good. I like green tea a lot.
I like Earl Grey tea. Have you ever had?
I don't know that I've had
It's a
that.
quality
I've heard of
tea.
it. I like green tea. I like orange juice. Orange juice is up there.
Orange juice is amazing.
Pulp free.
Yeah. Well, I don't mind pulp.
I-
I
it's
used to.
the
I used to
wor- I
mind
hate
it very
pulp.
much, but I don't anymore.
Yeah, I don't like pulp. Nick, you got some drinks?
I like milk.
Milk.
I like
chocolate
milk.
milk.
Milk is good in cereal.
I like chocolate
I like.
milk.
Chocolate milk. Oh my gosh,
chocolate
so
milk.
good.
Recently got this orange juice that it's orange mango.
Ooh,
Okay.
that sounds good.
It's really good.
That could be good. I
Fruit
could get into that.
juices. Smoothies are awesome.
Smoothies.
Oh,
Can't go
yeah.
wrong with a good smoothie
And
or milkshake.
the most important drink ever, coffee.
Coffee's
Nice.
good. I like coffee.
Jinx.
There's a lot of ways to fix that.
Coffee. Yeah. I mean,
I drink it black.
my favorite way is black.
Yeah.
I only really like it a different way when it's like a frappe or something like that. You know what I mean?
Mhm,
Like when
mhm.
it's like a cold based coffee, I like it differently.
Because otherwise, you're pretty much just drinking cream. All these like coffee shop fans, they're going in
Oh,
there.
I know. Yeah, they're like, I
You're not-
love coffee,
I
but
don't
then
think
you
they
actually
do.
give them a cup of coffee and they
If it's
won't
black
drink
coffee,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like a cup of black coffee is actual coffee.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You go to Starbucks, honestly, you're not getting coffee.
Yeah.
You can get black coffee from Starbucks, but if you get one of their
It's
like,
their least popular item, probably.
yeah, coffee is Starbucks' least popular item. If you have a gold card, you probably don't drink coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick. Any other drinks you like? Coffee is good.
Coffee. I do like root beer. Not
Root
gonna-
beer-
not
Oh,
gonna
dude,
lie.
root beer is a good
Root
one.
beer and cream soda. Those two.
Cream soda,
are pretty
nice.
good.
It's been a while. I haven't.
Choices.
It's been like 2 years since I've had soda.
It's been 2 years.
2 years.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, you know, I'm a wrestler. I don't know if I've ever said that on the show. But you know, I couldn't drink it during wrestling season, and I just stopped. Like, I just didn't drink it after wrestling season because it's bad for you.
Well, I'm not like.
I'm nothing against it.
I'm not religious about it, but I try to stay away from it if I can.
Yeah.
But like if I want a soda, I'll drink one. But it's not.
Yeah,
like,
that's fair.
I literally have one once, like every few months, probably.
Right. I mean, yeah, like I think soda's good. I
Overall,
just,
I don't drink it.
for me,
Me too.
maybe after I'm done wrestling, it's my senior year now. I might pick it up again. We'll see. We'll see what happens. What do you think? What do you guys think about Pepsi? Apparently, Pepsi uses aborted fetuses. What do you guys think of that? That's a controversy that
Hey,
I've heard.
more power to you. If you're gonna use fetuses, go for it.
I'd-
Don't quote me on that.
I'm more of a Coke guy anyway.
Yeah, I'm more of a Coke guy. Honestly,
Coke is good.
yeah, I don't see how you could be a Pepsi guy.
But the fact that, like, I don't hate Pepsi. I like Pepsi.
I
but
don't hate it,
The
yeah.
fact that they keep their ingredients a secret, kind of.
Coke does.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I don't
you
see.
know.
I
It's
haven't
one
seen
of
it.
one of the best kept secrets, apparently, the most
Oh,
heavily
yeah?
guarded secret.
I've never seen it, but I mean, I've seen it. I haven't seen it in a while. They had a commercial a few years ago, and it was like, we finally decided to reveal the Coke recipe, and it literally like flashed for like a second, and that was it. And it was a good commercial, and it's like, drink Coke. You could have it.
There's always the computer hacker. Well, you don't have to be a hacker, I guess, but you could go on YouTube.
Not in this day and age, you don't.
Yeah,
You don't- not in this age.
like freeze frame
Go-
it.
Freeze frame the entire thing.
I doubt it was actually the recipe, but it
probably
was
like
funny.
a joke or something.
Yeah, it was like this big algorithm, but no, what you could do with some Coke is, since it's such a secret, have you seen that SpongeBob episode?
Oh yes.
Where Plankton gets a
I know
Krabby
where you're
Patty
going.
and throws it in,
Mhm.
right? He could pour the Coke into it,
Just
and
take that and learn all
might
the
work.
ingredients. Yeah.
that's a good episode. SpongeBob.
I gotta
What,
get my hands on that secret recipe.
what are some of your favorite episodes of SpongeBob?
Band Geeks, one of my favorites.
Oh my gosh, the winner.
Watched
takes
that one over and
all.
over again as a kid.
It's the thrill of one more kill.
That's
No,
a great
yeah,
episode.
that's a great episode.
The pizza one,
Oh
That's a
yeah,
good one.
pizza delivery.
Krusty Krab pizza.
I like the
Krusty Krab pizza
One with,
is the pizza.
Flying Dutchman, the first one.
Wait,
with
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
where,
yeah.
where SpongeBob and Patrick.
Little.
Yes.
I'm trying to think. I'm not sure if I know what you're talking about.
Where he traps SpongeBob and Patrick on a ship, and he
Oh,
forces them to be
And
there.
Squidward.
And Squidward.
Is that the one where they
With
they
the fly
leave?
of despair.
He's like, you're
Oh,
good.
the fly of despair.
You're good.
But then the
You're good. But he's not good.
You're good's a different
It's
one,
the
I
joke.
think.
No, I think it's the
Yeah,
same
it's
one.
the same one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. I thought that was the one with Mr. Krabs and they were treasure hunting. No, but my favorite part about the episode, the Flying Dutchman episode that you were talking about, they escaped through the perfume department. Oh my gosh, classic.
Oh, it's fun.
So they're just getting sprayed. Oh, that's so
I
perfect.
like the one where they get invisible spray.
oh
prank everybody.
yeah,
Um,
that is, and then they're nude.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end of the episode.
Classic.
Oh my gosh, that's a great show.
It's vintage.
Vintage. I find it funny when people get offended by SpongeBob being nude.
Yeah.
He's a sponge. Like he doesn't have,
Yeah.
I think sponges reproduce asexually, so
Yeah, and
nothing offensive about it.
there aren't. It's hard to find a sponge that has clothes on in like the stores. Go
That's true.
get yourself like a magic eraser.
Well, there was that episode where
There's no clothes on it.
SpongeBob's sick and he goes to the doctor, and they clean like this guy
Oh,
with
yeah.
him, and I think
clean
he's
out the
wearing
toilet or something.
he's just a sponge with the little shorts on.
Yeah.
And then Patrick is like, wait, and they give him a lollipop at the end, and Patrick's like, wait, I wanted a lollipop, and so he says he's sick, and they like they clean like a cactus with him. That's classic.
Love
That would be cleaning with a starfish. That'd be painful.
Yeah, it would be. It's pretty rough when they're dry.
The new SpongeBob episodes are awful.
Yeah, I haven't honestly watched it. The last time I watched it, like a new episode, I watch old episodes now and then, but the last time I watched like an old episode, it was or a new episode. It was the episode with Johnny Knoxville. I don't know if you guys saw this. I was like, oh, Johnny Knoxville's on SpongeBob. Big Jackass fan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, I gotta check this out. Johnny Knoxville's on SpongeBob, but it was one of the worst,
Wow.
most offensive things I've
Yeah.
ever seen. It was awful. It was just an abomination.
Yeah,
It's the worst.
So I was talking about this just the other day. Somebody was like, they're going to stop making SpongeBob. How sad. And I was like, well, it's kind of sad because they stopped making good SpongeBob a long time ago.
That's true. It was pretty much everything. There were a few after the movie that were good, but everything
Yeah.
after the movie was just bad. I liked the movie.
There's definitely a
The
run.
movie was good.
There was like an
That's-
average. There was like a run of average episodes.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was
I mean,
funny.
there were, a few good ones.
And that's
but-
saying a lot too, because that's like 10 years of bad SpongeBob, basically. Because
Oh, I
think
know, yeah.
the movie came out in like 2004, I think.
Yeah,
I have
something
it,
like that.
I have it on
There's
VHS.
another-
Believe it or not.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was on
So-
VHS. It was like one of the last movies on VHS. The SpongeBob movie, I liked. I saw in theaters.
Great.
Very funny movie. There's another movie coming out. There's another movie coming out.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
I think 2015 is what they said. Are you gonna see that? Because I loved the first movie.
Probably. I don't think I'm gonna pay too much money to see it.
I'll probably see it. What if they put it on like IMAX? Will you go?
Maybe.
An IMAX SpongeBob.
It's been a while
experience?
since I've been to an IMAX movie, and if it's
3D.
SpongeBob, I'll
I don't
go.
know that I've
IMAX.
ever been to an IMAX movie like a Hollywood movie.
Like, yeah, I don't think I've
The
seen
only
a
ones
legit
I've seen
movie
are like
in
turtles in the sea.
Yeah.
With a narrator.
Dinosaurs.
Not great.
Outer
Yeah,
Space
Dinosaurs
Adventures.
Among Us or
But-
something like that. But that point you made about SpongeBob being canceled, I think that was a rumor.
Yeah, I think it was.
I heard
too,
that
because
too.
I haven't heard any solid
2 or 3 months ago, but I don't think it's true.
facts about that yet.
I don't think that there's truth to that. Nickelodeon, I feel like it's one of their, even though it's bad, it's one of their highest rated shows still.
Yeah, I mean the kids that watch it now probably think it's funny because
Yeah.
the
I don't know. It's one of these things.
The-
Like
the
I
mind
think
of
the
the
old
youth
SpongeBob
is
episodes are
decaying.
truly good. Like the first 3 or 4 seasons, I think they're truly good and funny. But it's one of these things. It could be like for nostalgia for us. Like they're actually not that good. You know
maybe
what I mean?
yeah.
But I really like them. I truly.
It's a good,
Yeah, it's also the only show on Nickelodeon that's been on Nickelodeon since the 90s.
yeah.
So,
What happened to the-
99, yeah, was when it came out.
What happened
so.
to the Wild Thornberries?
The Wild Thornberries? Yeah, there's
Rocket
some
Power?
good Nickelodeon shows.
Rocket
I
Power's
was a
great.
big Hey Arnold guy.
I like Hey Arnold.
Hey Arnold's
Rocket
great.
Power.
Rocket Power.
Helga Pataki.
Yeah, I liked Rocket Power. I don't know, was that
Rocket
90s
Power's-
or 2000s more?
I think it was
I think early 2000s.
90s, late 90s, early 2000s.
I liked Rocket Power and like
Oh yeah. I don't know. There's some good Nickelodeon shows. There were, not really anymore. After like iCarly and Drake and Josh.
I
Classic.
like that show.
Big Drake and Josh fan.
Very very quality show.
If you don't mind,
I don't mind at all.
some more awkward
Okay. Oh, of course. Yeah.
situations.
That's how it works on the Paige Campbell Show, exclusively on YouTube.
The other night at the Hotspot,
Yes.
heckling at a comedy show.
Oh,
That
yeah.
can get awkward.
Very awkward. Heckling is interesting to me because there are different types of heckling.
Mhm.
You know, there's the one where the guy is actually yelling out rude stuff, or girl. You know, it was a girl the other night. It could be any type.
A female.
It was a female, yeah, or a woman, I guess. She was like 50 or
Yeah.
something. But yeah, there are different like types of heckling. There are the ones where the guy or girl is like yelling out rude stuff. There's the ones where they honestly think they're making the show better
Yeah.
and just commenting on everything that the comedian says, which doesn't make it better. And honestly, you know, I do stand up, and it makes it hard because you're trying to remember your jokes, and it just throws you completely off track when you're trying to remember your material. So there's that type, and then there's a third type where this is when you're, I guess, already an established, like, famous comedian.
Yeah.
But you're doing new material, and they constantly ask you to do old
Old stuff.
material. And it's like, no, I wrote this new material. If you want to hear that old material, go look at my last special. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
That got pretty awkward.
but yeah, it was funny. I like how they destroyed her. Like, they just, like that one, what that one guy said. I don't know, that one guy with the really long name. He was funny.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't.
I like
remember
him. He's a
his
cool
name. He
dude.
was
I talked to
funny.
him after the shows, but
If we remembered his name, he could get a shout out on the Paige
Yeah.
Campbell Show. But
I don't know. I wish I could.
yeah, so there's that
The
and
metalhead.
faux pas.
That door
or-
just moved.
What?
It's
What's-
the cat.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
sorry.
sorry.
My
the
house
door-
is haunted.
You thought the house was haunted?
It's a black
I just-
cat.
You know, I think we talked about this on the first episode, but I believe in ghosts. You believe in ghosts, no?
Ghosts are cool. I believe that like maybe a dead person could like show up in a way, but not necessarily like haunt you. Because I think I've
Yeah, that makes
Like-
sense to me.
not like an apparition or like an attack, like a violent ghost or anything, but
Right.
like I think when my grandmother died, my great grandmother, there was a light on the wall
Mhm.
in a dark room or something, and we were like, "What the heck is that?" And it's like maybe she's her
It's a
final
touchy
goodbyes.
subject. I honestly think like someone that has an untimely death, you know,
Yeah.
like someone, you know, they were supposed to die in the grand scheme of things when they were like 50, and they got murdered when they were like 20. I honestly think they could hang around for a while, and I don't really see why not. You know what I mean? And it's just an opinion I have, you know, but I believe in ghosts. So, you believe in ghosts, Nick? We talked about this before. But
What I said in the last episode, I don't really remember.
First episode.
The first
I think you said you didn't.
first episode.
See, this is the same. This was it was
Yeah.
us three on the first episode. We need some different people to input on this topic. You know,
That's a good point. We should
because it's
relive
an interesting topic to think about. You know,
Yeah.
but I kind of kind of agree with you about what you said, haunting. You know, like
Yeah.
attacking.
I mean, like if you watch like horror movies, that's just like with ghosts. Some of that is just so
It's a little
far
outlandish.
fetched. It's just kind of ridiculous. I mean, it's good stuff for a scare, here and there.
Right.
But like, there's no way that like
Right.
paranormal activity
It
stuff.
doesn't. I mean, ghosts aren't
don't know
dumb,
about
in my
that.
opinion. Right. Like a kid gets murdered and its ghost hangs around for a while. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. But ghosts aren't dumb. They can tell. Like, I could see them attacking the person that murdered them. But why would they just attack random people? You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Ghosts
yeah.
aren't dumb. They can see the person's face. It's like, this person didn't do anything, you know?
Yeah.
So, I guess it could be a case where a family moves into a haunted house and they don't want, a family, like, bothering them. You know, it's their house. It's their domain.
Of course, I also
Whatever.
think that your own intellect can deceive you if you think your house is haunted,
Yeah.
and then you'll just start seeing things that.
Yeah, see things that aren't really there.
Yeah.
You buy into things that
The
aren't
power
really.
of suggestion. If someone says, "Hey,
Placebo.
I think your house might be haunted. I saw this and that," then you'll be super.
You'll just be like, Psh, nah,
senses
and
will
then
be-
you'll be watching TV late at night and hear a noise.
Hear a noise, right?
And then of course, it could be.
Yeah, a lot of
neighbors.
I feel like the ghost stuff that's out there is
Dogs.
like our own psyche. You
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like, we just think stuff's there that's not.
Yeah.
You know, when you're alone in like a dark.
Like
room.
that and like Bigfoot sightings, people are just like
Yeah.
have like some
Mhm.
hair in their eye or something.
A hair in their eye. Yeah, that could be it.
If you squint the right way, it looks like Bigfoot.
It sure does.
If you squint the right way.
Anyways,
There are some people I've seen that could be a Sasquatch.
yeah,
You know,
certainly know some people that are
could be a
Sasquatch in
Sasquatch.
stature.
Right.
But anyways, I wasn't finished with awkward situation.
Oh yeah.
Do
I'm
we have
sorry.
time for?
I don't know how
are
we
gonna
got.
have-
We went from hecklers to ghosts.
It's
I don't
good.
know.
It's good though.
And Sasquatch.
Are we gonna throw in like a sponsor message around here?
Okay.
I'd like to, but we don't have a sponsor. I'd like to get a sponsor.
YouTube.
Well, no, because that guy I was talking to at he says he has an audience of about 100 maybe.
Oh yeah.
That guy I was talking to,
Is he a
he said
sponsor?
he's had some sponsors.
That's pretty cool.
Local people like paid him $200 to like say their name on the show. So
That's
we
cool.
should look into getting a sponsor. That'd
Be
cool.
awesome. Yeah.
Make a commercial break for some wieners.
We could take a break.
We could
Let
take
me
a break.
just get in this one thing real quick. Faux pas. You know, faux pas, like when you say something that, for example, I know somebody whose mom died, and I said a "your mom" joke to him.
Oh
And it
yeah,
was awkward.
that's
that
true.
kind of thing. When you say something that's like, or you
I-
compliment
yeah.
somebody
That's a
on
good one.
something, or like, it's like, oh, are you pregnant? And they're just
And
like,
they're
"No,
fat. Yeah,
I'm not pregnant.
it's like yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah,
That's
I just wanted
classic.
to-
We're going to take a lunch
wanted
break
to get
or a
that
dinner
in.
break. I guess it's 6. So
The
we're gonna
stay
take,
is past.
we're gonna take a dinner break. Give us a little segue, and we'll come back in a little bit. We were talking about the 2 different types of hot dogs. We'll come back and give you our opinion.
We will.
It was the Oscar Mayer and the other one, Ballpark Franks. Okay, yeah, that's good. Welcome back to the Paige Campbell Show, episode 7. We've got Quenton Clarke here.
Hey, I'm back.
This one not good.
Quentin's back. Great to have him. We're back here. We've got our plates prepared. We're going to do a live comparison of Ballpark Franks.
Introduction music is
Introduction music. We're gonna do a live comparison of Ballpark Franks versus Oscar Mayer Franks. So Oscar Mayer wieners. It's Ballpark Franks and Oscar Mayer wieners. So we're gonna start the first comparison, just the meat, right? So just the meat.
That's
I'm gonna start with Oscar Mayer here. Let's see what I think.
kinds of one.
Yeah.
Which one's Oscar Mayer?
The lighter one.
The lighter ones.
If anybody doesn't like the sound of eating, please feel free to
Not listen to this portion.
tune out, mute it. We'll be back on track with regular non-food talking in a few minutes.
Right.
Quite a
Now, what are these? What are these again?
The ballpark.
Which one are the dark ones?
Ballpark.
The dark ones are the ballpark's finest.
All right,
Now-
well,
I can say I like it. I like it already.
they're not original though, are they? It's not like a plain hot dog.
Is the ballpark's infused with like something, isn't it? I think the ballpark's
Kind of barbecue.
ballpark's
some
infused with
spice,
barbecue. You
some
can definitely
flavors?
taste it. It's got some different spices. The Oscar Mayer is just like straight like your classic hot dog, which I like. Now we got to do the comparison of condiments. Let's see. Your hot dog?
My current undertaking.
Okay.
Mm.
Quentin is
Going for the bite.
putting the hot dog in his mouth, going for the bite.
This is the
But we're all trying with our condiments. Quentin has mustard, ketchup, and onions. So we'll see.
Tabasco.
And Tabasco. Okay.
I'm gonna take a sip to clear the palate.
Oh, that's a good idea. You have to have a clean palate. That's a key.
I'm almost done with the Oscar Mayer.
Well, Nick's over
Okay.
here munching away.
What'd you think?
I like it. I did not take a piece of just the meat. I put the ketchup and onions on it, so I mean I like it. I don't know how it tastes by itself.
So Noah, tell me about your condiments here, because we're doing a comparison with condiments and without condiments. So
Pretty basic. Ketchup, mustard, and onions.
okay, yeah. See,
Um,
I've just got ketchup and mustard. I haven't tried yet.
I don't know if we mentioned this, but we are using ballpark buns.
It kind of gives Ballpark a little unfair advantage, a
Little bit of an
little bit of an
advantage.
edge. You know, they're in their home park, so right. So I'm gonna jump right into this. I'm starting with Oscar Mayer. It looks like so. I'll give you
Yeah,
my
Oscar Mayer's pretty good.
thoughts. Yeah, I like Oscar Mayer. Let's see.
Delicious.
So yeah, I'm glad we did the meat comparison first,
Yeah.
because you can't taste as much of the dog without the condiments or with the
Here's
condiments.
the thing. I think that sometimes the ketchup and the mustard it accentuates the flavor. Honestly,
Yeah,
Like, honestly.
certainly.
Yeah, Tabasco.
Sure,
yeah,
that's what we
honestly.
gotta
It can.
That's
Separate comparisons.
I'm going for ballpark now. Oscar Mayer was truly delicious.
All right.
We also have some macaroni.
You know, the macaroni's a good little palate cleanser too between dogs.
Is everybody gonna?
I have one more Oscar Mayer bite. 1 second.
I have a few more.
Okay. Finish your Oscar Mayer and we'll move into Ballpark.
I'm just for the record. I'm gonna start eating the macaroni.
You definitely taste the difference.
Okay. That's key to know.
Okay, but are we gonna go around and give our opinions?
When we're all done.
Okay.
I'm going to clear my palate real quick. See if you can hear. Quentin. Chewing directly into the mic. All right. I'm starting on Ballpark. I've had my Oscar Mayer. Starting on Ballpark. This is Ballpark with condiments. I had Ballpark without condiments already.
What you got?
This is mustard and ketchup, in a bun, in a
Mhm.
Ballpark bun.
Ballpark bun.
That's key to know. So yeah, does Oscar Mayer even make buns? I don't know.
They might. You don't see them a lot. I do want to say I like the ballpark bun.
Yeah. It is a good bun.
That's
Classic.
my opinion on the bun.
Reminds me of one time I went to a ballpark. I saw the Washington Nationals
So the Washington
a
buns.
while back. I think I had a hot dog, very reminiscent of that time.
Nice.
Yeah.
I want to note the Ballpark. The Oscar Mayer was classic. He had the classic feel. The Ballpark with the condiments has a smokehouse feel.
You really
Mhm.
taste the beefiness in it.
I'm biting it. Oh, is it beef? Or
Yeah,
the
it's
Ballpark's
all
beef.
Mhm.
Or the Oscar Mayer pork?
You know, it's always a mystery.
Might be it's mystery meat. That's
What
true.
exactly is in the Oscar Mayer wiener?
That's
But
a concern.
it's-
That could be a
You're
con for
you're
the
tasting the
for the-
spices. It's
Mhm.
good.
Yeah.
Oscar
Yeah.
Mayer. Mhm. But I'm almost confused as to whether or not this is a hamburger shaped into a hot dog.
Mm. That's a good point.
You know, when you close your eyes and take a bite of it sideways,
Right.
and you think real hard,
It's
and
just,
pretend it's not a hot dog.
right.
The only other option,
It's a hamburger.
it's got to be a hamburger. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
Or a plain taco.
With
Um,
ketchup and mustard and onions on it. Could be.
Very valid point.
All right, now Paige is almost done with his
One more bite for ballpark,
ballpark.
and then I'll give you my opinion.
All right. Okay. He's chewing.
Just chewing.
It's not
It's
making
in
a
the
lot.
mouth.
He's making some eye contact.
Here it goes.
Wash-
Down the
All right.
hatch.
Washing it down
Clear my
with some
palate now.
fresh Niagara water.
Shout out to the Niagara
All right.
water.
We'll just start at Quenton and go clockwise. Quenton,
Good idea.
your thoughts?
Clockwise.
Well, I like the imagination and the real cow behind the ballpark.
Uh-huh.
Like the beepiness, like that. If I'm throwing a ball, it's in the ballpark. I like the classic taste of the Oscar Mayer, but I'm one of those guys that I'm a little bit out there, so
Right.
I gotta have an out there dog
Gotcha.
to go with my out there personality. So I think I'm gonna lean towards the ballpark's finest.
Okay.
Thank you, Paige.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Excellent.
I guess me next.
Okay.
The thing is, just meat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ballpark had a smoky, like, almost like, there's a little, like, syrupy taste. I liked it. It was smoky. You could taste the spices. And then on the other end of the spectrum, Oscar Mayer was just the classic hot dog taste. Everyone
Right.
knows it. And then with the condiments, I couldn't really taste the Oscar Mayer. Like there was definitely a hot dog in there,
Mhm.
but I couldn't really taste it. But with the ballpark condiments, ballpark with the condiments, I could taste the dog, because of the spices stood out. So I like Oscar Mayer. It's classic. If you like hot dogs, it's a classic hot dog feel. But I'm going ballpark because ballpark is a new experience.
All right,
I've never
2
had
for
that
ballpark.
experience. 2 for ballpark.
And I
Noah,
don't
you're
think
next.
it's just the bun, but I will say, let's start with just the meat. I will say just meat. I was kind of impressed a little more with the Oscar Mayer.
Okay.
I took a bite of the ballpark, and I was a little thrown off by the flavor at first because I was expecting a regular hot dog, but it was good. And I think it's sort of like if you're in the mood for that, that's what you want. But I think meat alone, I'm gonna pick Oscar Mayer
Okay.
with condiments.
I see.
This is a little tougher with condiments. I think I'm gonna have to disagree. Oscar Mayer, it was noticeable flavor,
Okay.
noticeable meat flavor in there. We did mention that it's a little hard to determine what meat it exactly is
That's true.
in Oscar Mayer, but it was delicious nonetheless.
Maybe turkey.
Yeah,
I think it's
what
probably
part?
health inspector. Health inspector meat.
Like they cut up a health inspector.
That's why the health inspector
and put 'em
didn't
in
shut
the
it
hot dog.
shut it down because he didn't come
Makes
back.
sense. I mean,
But
you gotta think about these things.
Right.
You're hot dog shopping.
We'd like to thank the health inspector for his sacrifice that he made.
It's a good thing we're doing this show because nobody would have known.
Nobody would have known.
Nobody.
anyways, the
Maybe it's
ballpark
dog.
was delicious
It's good.
with the ketchup and the mustard and the onions and the bun and all that. They were both quite good.
Right.
I think my choice, my final pick, and it was a close race in my opinion.
Right.
The Oscar Mayer.
Okay.
takes the-
Okay. So it's 2 to
takes
1
the
right now.
cake.
We might have a tie, and if there's a tiebreaker, I'm gonna bring Marina in. Did you try both? Oh, she didn't try both.
Marina responded that she
Okay.
Now,
Gotcha.
I think we have to preface Nick's.
I mean, it'll see. If Nick goes ballpark, then ballpark's the winner.
Yeah, but I think we have to preface this with Nick ate only one of the hot dogs with condiments.
that's a good point.
and the other alone. And I also
how
have.
much does Nick's opinion actually matter?
Well, we'll see.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
I guess we'll find out.
Nick did not try ballpark with condiments, and I think it's key. You have to have both.
That's very true.
So, Nick, give us your opinion.
In life, there are many firsts. First birthday,
Mm-hmm.
first bike ride,
Right.
first time eating a barbecue hot dog.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had that like infused with
I have
barbecue.
it all the time.
It was good.
It was the first time.
It was my first time, actually.
Yeah.
I think.
No.
Maybe I've
It was a
had
pleasant surprise.
Okay.
I liked it.
I think that
Mhm.
was the first hot dog to Oscar Mayer that wasn't either barbecue infused or had barbecue sauce on it for me.
Right.
It was almost weird.
I liked it.
You like
That being said, I like the Oscar Mayer as well.
Okay.
one. Nick's opinion
So-
counts.
So here's the thing.
Oh, we'll see.
Here's
Let's
the
see.
thing.
Yeah.
In life, sometimes you can't play it safe. I walked into the game knowing there were two kinds of hot dogs.
Right.
I could have
That's
played
all part.
could have played it safe and just had the not barbecue one.
Mm-hmm.
No, the barbecue wins this time.
Well,
Barbecue
Nick's
wins.
point doesn't really matter. Moving on.
There you have it.
I
Well,
kind of agree with him, actually.
there you have it.
A little bit surprised.
Ballpark is a new experience. It's a new realm that you'd never tried.
Well, I don't think it matters.
And Oscar Mayer, if you want that classic hot dog taste, go for Oscar Mayer. But in this race, Ballpark wins.
I mean, it is their finest. They brought their finest.
They brought their finest. They really did.
If you take the Oscar Mayer mobile around, make sure to get ballpark buns.
Ballpark buns. They make some good
we'll
buns
say the
too.
ballpark buns were delicious.
All right, that was our live comparison of Ballpark versus Oscar
I'm
Mayer.
gonna go get some more.
Okay, you're welcome to. Are you going to come back? You don't have to.
Yeah, I'll come back.
Because I think we're gonna go into a game.
Oh, yeah.
We always play games on the show.
Am I invited to join?
Yeah, you're invited, but it's one of those things. You can go grab some more food though if you'd like.
I will be right back.
I
Okay.
think you've overstayed your welcome. Actually,
All right, go grab some food. Noah, give us a little interlude.
Don't trip on the way up.
Noah and Nick, give us a little interlude for the music or for the game. Give
Are
us
we
a, little,
going straight into a game, or
a musical interlude, or do I want to what?
I guess we can sidebar until Quentin gets here.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. What were we talking about before we stopped?
I think Pokemon.
Were we talking about?
I think
Pokemon?
we were.
All right. I would like to talk a little bit about Pokemon. We talk about Pokemon on every show, so it's we got to keep with the trend, you know. All right. We're going to play a game. I hear Quentin coming down the stairs, so this is going to work out. We're going to play a game.
Talk about Pokemon later.
We're going to play a game. Yeah, we can talk about Pokemon a little bit. My topic is a video game topic. So
Okay.
You'll see. You'll see. So what game? I guess we can decide before Quentin comes down here. What game do you guys want to play?
I say we do make it or break it.
Make it or break it's good. Yeah, it's a good 4-person game too.
Well,
You
I
have a
like what
problem
we
with
had last time.
What 20 questions?
No, that I don't know if it has a name. The categories game.
Oh, that game is fun. I had an idea for another game, but I'm trying to remember what it was. Because I had a pretty
We
good idea
could-
actually.
We could do that word at a time story or phrase at a time.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good
Go
4-person.
around telling a story.
I'd say phrase at a time, or not phrase at a time. It can go as long as you want, and then just pass it on to the next person, or then you could just say a word.
But keep it. Yeah.
Well, just
yeah,
like a phrase,
'cause
like
I-
a part of a story.
Because I did the same thing, but like you were allowed to go as long as you want, and then you could like just be like, and then the next person. would
Okay.
go.
Okay.
Yeah,
I see. But don't go on for too long.
Yeah, this is a podcast.
Keep
It's
it-
not a movie.
Yeah. Keep that
Wait,
in mind.
what do you mean? So what do we do here?
We're gonna take turns telling a story.
Right. Start a part of a story.
Yeah, and then you can go.
Yeah.
You can go like
I guess finish.
until
Kind of leave it at a cliffhanger,
We
and then
could.
the next person
you could,
does the next
and then
part.
the next
Not
person.
necessarily.
No, and then the next person could be like, and then, or but he didn't know, or
Quentin's back.
Like for example,
back.
Great dad.
I could be like, once upon a time, I was skateboarding downtown, and
I fell off my board, but little did I realize that.
Right. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
the end.
Who wants to start? Yeah.
You want to do that?
Yeah. That sounds fun.
All right. Should I put on background?
Yeah.
Hang on. Why don't
Yeah. A
we-
little background music would be nice. Who wants to start?
All right, maybe not that. Just a beat. I don't know. Are we gonna like go in order? Or are we gonna do like a point?
I say we go in order.
All right,
Okay.
fine.
So who's starting?
You wanna start?
Nick.
Okay.
Give us a good beginner.
Once upon a time, there lived 3 little men.
Okay. Is that
And
what
it-
you got?
Yeah.
All right, 3
Okay.
little men, Noah. That's what you got.
All right. So once upon a time, there lived 3 little men, and the first little man said, "Let's play a game of darts." The big man, they were in 3 different sizes. I should mention.
The bigger
Little-
of the little men.
Little, middle, and big man.
Okay.
But they were all
They're to us they were relatively
they
small.
were small men compared to your average man.
Right.
The big one being maybe 5'5".
Okay.
That's little
That's small
in a way.
for your average man. That's a small,
Anyways,
small in stature.
the littlest of the 3 men said, "Let's play darts." The big man said, "All right, but guess who gets to be the dart?"
Okay. So, the big man is the guy. He's the one that said, "Guess who gets to be the dart?" Right.
Yes.
Okay. Little man says, "Let's play darts." The big man says, "Okay, but guess who gets to be the darts?" The darts were going to be the little man's crystal mice collection. And at this point, the medium man is like, "You can't do that. That's his prized collection."
I'd say so.
And the large man's like, "Well, if we're playing darts, those are going to be the darts." What happens next, Quentin?
I'm sorry, I wasn't really paying attention to the story.
All right.
Okay.
Crystal meth collection?
Crystal
I guess are we
mouse
just gonna move on?
collection,
Mouse.
like little crystal mice,
Not crystal meth collection.
not crystal
Not
meth.
plain dark
No,
crystal
this is
meth.
not Breaking Bad.
Well, it's your story now. Take it
Well,
however
yeah,
you
now
want.
you could take it in that direction.
Well, I could have, but you just changed it.
Well, take it in that direction if you'd like.
Well, I can't.
He can also have crystal meth if he wants to.
Yeah.
Okay, so these guys are doing crystal meth. And,
Okay.
the relatively sized guys, and they're
Small.
so they're getting ready to play darts with the crystal mice. Crystal mice. I
Crystal.
guess.
Those are going to be the darts, right?
Yeah, those are the darts. So they they use the tails as the blade, and so they start throwing these darts, and then one of them hits the relatively smaller guy, like, ow, that really hurt. And so then they start fighting, and they're fighting with the crystal mice, and they start throwing them at each other and trying to stab each other with them while they're doing crystal meth. And,
Okay.
I don't really know where this is going. I'm gonna
you-
hand it over.
Now hand it over to Nick. Nick, what happens next?
All of a sudden, they see something peeking in near their chimney in their fireplace. They look more closely, and they find out it's a snake. A snake got into their apartment. So while they're fighting, the snake's running around and biting everybody.
Okay.
They're all. It's a poisonous snake.
Right.
They're all
right.
getting. This isn't good.
No, that's not a good situation.
And then
And then the snake started growing in size
Mm-hmm.
to taller than 5'5", which, as we remember, is the height of the tallest man
I don't remember that.
in the group. Well, you weren't paying attention earlier.
So the tallest man is 5'5", and the snake grows bigger than
The
5'5".
snake starts getting bigger and bigger, and then started multiplying into more than one snake.
Okay.
And the medium-sized man realized, hey, maybe this is the meth talking, but are there 100 million snakes in our room right now?
Okay.
And all of a sudden,
Okay, so all of a sudden, all the snakes shed, and they leave the houses, right? And all three men are ecstatic. They're like, "Yes, we needed new sleeping bags." So they take the snake's skin and they go on a camping trip, and they use the snake's skin as sleeping bags. And they only need 3 sleeping bags, and there were millions of snakes. So they make a tent out of the other snake skin. So it's a giant snake skin for their sleeping bags, and then for their tent. Giant snake skin. But snake skin is very, very, very flammable. So when they build their campfire, the snake skin burns, and then... Quentin.
You switch over to me, right? I'm taking a bite.
Right. It's no problem.
All right, well, just give me a piece of something.
Okay. No problem. So you know where we left off. Snake
Yeah,
skin.
right.
Very flammable.
Flammable campsite, right?
Right.
So, so the snake skins are all on fire, as they were in their sleeping bags and stuff made out of the snake skins, and so they're running around, help! I'm on fire, and they run out of the forest and into the lake right over there by the forest, and they look over, and they see a big factory over by the lake, and it says Oscar Mayer Incorporated.
Ooh, twist.
And they walk inside. They see a little rabbit, and he's just hanging out like under one of the machines. So they walk over to him. And they're wondering what a rabbit's doing in the Oscar Mayer building. And the rabbit starts talking to them, and then he morphs into like a lady wearing like a dress. And then she tells them that they all need to go help her, repair DVDs, scratches on DVDs at her house.
Nick borrowed some of their crystal meth.
So, and then they were like. Really confused, and then
All right, Noah. Wrap us up.
And
Finish up the
then
story.
the 3 men overdosed and died in their apartment, and they actually weren't at Oscar Mayer. It was all in their heads because they were very high. The end.
There's a twist ending. The moral of the story is don't do drugs. That's
No.
our PSA.
Not at all.
That's our PSA.
Or throw
Public
crystal
service
meth.
announcement. Or throw crystal mice. Don't throw crystal mice. They're collectible.
Starts everything.
They're
play us
collectible.
out, Noah.
That's where it all
Just did.
starts. That was a good. I like that game. What?
Never mind.
You wanna play another game? We could play.
Yeah.
I just wanted to find out what the meat was at the Oscar Mayer factory.
Yeah, that's true.
I was hoping
Sorry.
to get there and you killed everybody.
It's
all.
small men. The meat is small men.
Small
it
man.
would have been another
Snakes
twist,
that ran off.
but we didn't get there.
That's an alternate
Sorry,
ending.
folks.
If you
Yeah,
buy
well,
the
yeah,
DVD, if you buy the
Blu-ray.
Paige Campbell
It's
Show
only on the
CD,
Blu-ray.
you'll have an alternate ending to that story. You want to play that game that we played last time with the
Category?
categories? I
Okay.
like that game a lot. So, does Quentin know this game? Because it's kind of tough to explain.
I don't know any games. I never listen to your show.
All right, well, you need to start listening. It's a good show.
I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
come
It's
on.
a great show.
Come on.
Best
Thank
show.
you. Really appreciate that.
Best show. That's why I'm on it.
Should I do another
That's true.
theme for the...
Give us a theme, but explain this one to Quentin too, because we
I'll
don't.
explain it while the theme music is
Okay,
playing.
sounds good.
Hang on. Sorry. Alright, so the game is where one of us, the person who starts, suggests a category. And the category, each person goes around and lists an example of the category. And the last person's example, the first letter of the last person's example starts the next person's category.
Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Wait, was he talking to me?
Yeah, he was.
Oh.
I'll tell you what.
I'll watch.
You'll get the hang
do
of it.
We'll do a round.
Yeah.
And then you can jump in on the next
I'll
round.
I don't
pick it
think
up.
I explained it that well, but
It's all right. We'll do a round, and he can jump in on the next round, right?
yes.
So, who wants to start?
Nick?
Nick, you want to start?
Okay.
He looks very, very excited about it.
Types of emoticons.
Okay. What's your example?
My example is smiley face.
Okay.
A kissy face.
My example is winky face. So now Noah, yours has to start with F. Your example.
Oh, would be
Your-
F.
No, your
Wouldn't it be W?
topic
Oh,
starts with
I
F,
think it
right?
would be F.
Winky face.
sorry.
Facial expressions.
All right.
Smiley face. I'm gonna go with smiley. Oh,
My example, the smiley,
I'll go with
a
kissy.
smile.
Kissy face.
I'm gonna go with angry face. So
Yours starts with F. I
mine
guess.
starts with F. Okay. So
Facial
no.
facial position. Smiley face.
No,
Wait.
what? No.
Okay, sorry.
No.
All right.
Fun activities, and my example would be parachuting.
Activities.
Fun activities.
Nick. Oh wait, me. Nick.
Me? Am I going?
Yeah.
Laser tag pizza party.
Regular pizza party.
So Nick, yours starts with P.
Okay, I'm starting to get it. Okay.
People you know.
Okay. Your example.
I'll go with Paige.
Okay.
I'll go with Nick.
My example is going to be Quenton Clarke.
Now mine starts with Q and.
No, it starts with C, doesn't it?
Wait, isn't it my turn?
Yeah.
Oh, are you jumping in?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
okay, I
Give
thought
us
we were
an
just gonna go
someone you
until-
know.
All right.
Does it
That's
start,
fine.
someone I know, or do I have to start a letter?
Oh yeah, you could start. Yeah, you could start. So C, I guess. Your
C,
topic is
okay.
C. Quenton Clarke.
I'm just,
Fine. All right.
just say crepes.
All right.
Okay.
What's an example? You need an example.
I need an example. Well, Noah made some delicious crepes last night.
I did. They were more like.
Can you just take that phrase and like,
I guess
do
we'll-
something with the phrase?
I guess different flavors of grapes.
Oh, okay. Blueberry crepes.
I made raspberry, and they were more like thin pancakes, but raspberry.
So your example is raspberry.
Raspberry crepe.
Okay.
I'll go with chocolate crepes.
Okay. I'll go peach crepes. So C,
Who's that? Me?
you. Go ahead.
Christian Mingle usernames.
Okay. and your example.
Anastasia 666.
Okay. My example would be footprints in the sand.
Nice.
Nice one. I'm gonna have to say Jesus freak spelled with a Z in the middle of Jesus, and then a little forever at the end.
Okay.
You know, the conventional number 4 and EVR.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like it.
do that.
Nick.
I'm gonna go with Deborah's Crating Company. She crates different things.
More of an advertisement name, I guess. But that's fine.
Okay, it's a spam
She-
account. Pretty
yeah.
much.
Does that
Well-
mean we're at C again?
It's like, hey, I'd like to meet you, and she'll be like, buy my crates.
What's
You know
with a
what I mean?
K?
Okay, with a K.
Crating Company.
Oh, okay.
Crating company.
Creative, yeah.
Create.
That would
So
would
K.
have been spelled with a K. when I said
She's
creative.
wacky. She's crazy. She's ready to date.
Right.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, so I'm gonna go kingdoms, and my example is the Mushroom Kingdom. Anybody jump in on this?
We got to do it in a sort of an order.
Okay. So Quentin, you're next. It could be a real kingdom, could be a fictional.
I'm just gonna say Royal Kingdom because that sounds like it's, I don't know. I
Okay.
can't come up with anything.
Well, that means you lose.
Yeah.
If you can't
No,
come up with
it's-
one.
That's my answer.
Real
you have to have
kingdom.
a legit kingdom.
Is that a real
Okay,
kingdom?
Or you lose.
what's that movie? The Moonrise Kingdom.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
All right.
Is that a kingdom?
I'll go with that one.
Maybe. Yeah.
Go with Candy Kingdom.
Ah, that's a good one.
Oh, with
Uh,
K's.
United Kingdom.
All right. So
Now-
K.
Quentin.
My turn.
Yeah, K.
With K.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with Kit Kats, and I know there's different flavors of Kit Kats. So my example is
All
white
right.
chocolate Kit Kat.
Okay, I'm gonna go with those orange ones that you get at Halloween.
Oh, gross.
I think
I
it
don't
tastes
know.
the same, but it's just
I don't
orange.
know. Regular Kit Kat. Nick.
The large size Kit Kat.
King size.
King size.
King size Kit Kat.
So
So
S.
S.
Noah, do
I would've
S.
gotten somebody
Me, S. All right.
Yes.
Shapes.
Oh, nice. What's your example?
The square.
Nice. Nick?
Go with the triangle.
I'm going dodecahedron.
Well, that's good.
Oh,
Thank you.
That's sophisticated. I'm just
It's a
gonna
real
say
one.
star.
Star.
Star?
It's
Yeah,
a good
that's a shape.
One of my favorite
So
shapes.
Nick, S.
Talk to the mic. Oh.
You don't have S?
Wait a
We need a
second.
timer here, so we.
Skillet songs.
Your example.
Monster.
Okay.
Whispers in the dark.
Okay. What's that one? Rebirthing now. I don't know.
Okay.
Is that the name
It
of it?
might be.
Okay. Go ahead.
Uh-oh.
Comatose.
Okay.
I think that is. It might just be the album.
C for Paige.
C. Okay.
Good round so far.
That is a good
Nobody's
round.
lost yet.
My topic is clean buildings, and my example is the Stark Tower where Tony
Okay.
Stark works. Yeah, whoever's next.
I'm gonna say my household because I'm looking around right now and
It's pretty clean. I like it.
you know
It's
it's
pristine.
Not bad. I mean, there's stuff everywhere, but
Yeah,
it's clean stuff.
It's not dirty.
It's not dirty at all.
Okay, that's a good one. Noah.
My Barbie playset. I mean, my sister's Barbie playset.
Okay, that's a clean house. Sure.
My cousin's Barbie playset.
Okay, so P.
B for Quentin.
B, place it.
P playset.
Yeah, Quentin's. Right?
Yeah,
That's
Quentin.
my shot.
I think so.
I'm gonna go with poop.
That's not really a
Okay.
category.
What?
My
don't
example is
think.
a swirly kind.
All right, that's.
Okay.
I guess this works.
And not swirly poop, the swirly kind.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Diarrhea.
Okay.
Late night
5 seconds on
Taco
the clock.
Bell after surprise.
I'm gonna go standard here.
Standard?
Standard poop.
Just a couple logs.
Well, yeah, there is a standard.
Right, like a couple logs.
A couple logs.
That's
Might
normal.
not be Nick's standard.
It's like I said standard diarrhea.
Now we know Paige's standard poop.
So standard S, Noah.
Is it mine or Nick's? I guess it's mine. 'Cause Nick went last.
Yeah. Yes.
S. Sounds.
Example.
Caw.
Okay. My example is like a creaking noise, like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Nick, your example.
I'm gonna go with knee.
What?
Knee.
Oh yeah.
Nice you say knee.
The nights
Oh,
who say
nice.
knee.
Knee.
Yeah.
Oh
Classic.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Quentin.
I'm gonna say boo.
Boo. Okay.
Yeah,
So
like-
Nick, B. B.
As,
Yeah, it's fine.
burritos.
B. What?
Burritos.
Burritos.
Types of
okay.
burritos.
All right.
I'm going to go with chicken and rice burrito
All right.
and beans.
I'm going beefy 5-layer burrito.
Mm.
Taco Bell.
Yeah, I'm gonna go classic bean burrito.
Breakfast burrito.
Okay. So B for me. I'm gonna go Breaking Bad characters,
Okay, nice.
and my example is Heisenberg.
Okay. Skylar.
I go with Tuco.
All right, Gwen, you're up.
Hold on, I gotta Google this one.
Nope.
That's cheating.
Cheating.
What about John?
Is there a John? I don't watch Breaking Bad.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Somewhere.
I'm gonna go with John.
I think you lose.
No, I'm gonna Google it and see if there's a John in Breaking Bad. I think that's John.
I think that's gonna wrap it up for this game. What's the name of this game?
Or you just call it categories, I guess.
That's gonna.
John DeLance.
Oh, is there a John?
Oh no, that's an actress.
Oh, okay. Nope. That's gonna wrap it up. That was a good round. That went on a while. You wanna?
resolution there, Nick.
Oh, that was a good game.
Thanks, Quentin.
I guess we'll get into my topic.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Okay, my topic is indie games, independent video games.
All right.
What are some of your favorites? I can start. You want me to?
Go for it.
I like Fez. Fez is a really good one. Phil Fish.
What's it about? I've never played it.
You haven't played Fez? Oh, Fez is incredible. There's not really. There is a story, but the story is not really that.
It's really cool.
Have you played
I
it?
played it.
Yeah, that game's great. There's not much of a story, but there is a story. But it's really interesting. You should play it. You're like this little guy with a fez on,
That's cool.
and like you turn. It's like the whole thing, like the way you turn, like your perspective. It's a platformer, and like your perspective changes the way that you can jump onto things.
Fez is a reason to buy a game.
Yeah, that's
He's wearing
true.
a Fez.
Yeah, oh yeah. But the game is incredible. Phil Fish
Does
made
it
it.
have any like relation to that '70s show?
Fez.
Oh yeah, foreign exchange student.
I think Flower. That's an indie game, right?
Flower, yeah, definitely.
really like
That game
Flower.
company.
That's a good one.
Flower's really cool.
No, see, I love indie games, and like the reason I love indie games, is because, these guys like grew up playing like the classic Nintendo and stuff like that, at like the NES and the SNES,
Yeah.
and so it's these beautiful like artistic expressions from these people that like truly like love video games, and I love big budget games too, but it's these type of games that would never get made by a big budget company.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Fez, Flower, those wouldn't get made. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've been playing a game on my 3DS recently. It's called Gunman Clive. It's this nice little. I think it's from like a German company. It was like $2, and it was this nice. It's this nice little. You're this little cowboy, and you're running through and you're shooting enemies.
That sounds
It's a
fun.
platformer. It's very good. Braid. Have you ever played Braid?
I don't think so.
Braid is great. I don't want to spoil Braid, but the ending of Braid is really great. It's a platformer, and you have to like, you can jump, and if you like die, you just reverse time.
Oh,
and,
that's
like,
sweet.
go back. It's really cool. Any other indie games you're into?
Portal start as an indie game?
I think the first Portal
Like
kind of
Orange.
was. Yeah, I mean it is Valve. Valve.
Yeah. I mean, I
They're
think
kind
Valve
of
started
small.
out as an indie company.
Yeah, they're big now,
Those are
but
great
yeah.
games. Yeah.
Yeah, the Portal games are for sure really good. Trying to think. The Stanley Parable. You played that?
No, but shout out to Jacob.
It's very good.
He's doing a walkthrough.
Oh, does he do a Let's Play?
Or Let's Play.
That game's very good. The Stanley Parable. Anybody? You got some indie games?
Is
There are a lot of good ones.
Super Meat Boy.
Yeah,
an
Super
indie
Meat
game?
Boy, definitely.
That's fun. I like it. It's tough.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's like a super hard game. Octodad. I really
That's
like
funny.
Octodad.
Sounds
Yeah.
like-
Have you heard of Octodad, Quentin?
No, actually, I haven't.
Oh, you haven't? It's interesting. It's like this dad, right? He's an octopus, and he's the father of these children, and like he's married to this woman, and they don't know he's an octopus. So you have to go throughout your.
Does he not look like an octopus?
He does,
Oh, they
but
just-
they don't know he's
they
an
just don't
octopus.
realize it.
So you have to go throughout your day doing your normal chores and just daily things, but you're an octopus and it controls horribly.
Yeah.
So like you can barely maneuver, and if you mess up too many times, then they find out you're an octopus.
Oh.
So it's
Yeah,
pretty.
You don't want that. on
Yeah,
your
it's
children.
brilliant. I really like
It's
it.
a little bit more popular than Octomom, the video game. Not a great
there
game.
should be a
in my
game. That'd
opinion.
be a funny
Yeah.
game.
I don't play enough indie games, and I really wish I did.
Right.
And I'm not really one for app games, but I just got this adorable little game.
I mean, those are
It's
indie.
called Out of Water.
Okay.
And, you have a little pool of fish.
Okay.
There are a bunch of different fish, and you pick up a fish. I'm showing right now for the audience that's listening. You just throw it, and you skip it over the water.
Oh, that's cool.
And
Yeah.
you got a little boosty right there. You hold it down for the boost.
Looks cool.
You try to get the highest distance
Mhm.
and the highest amount of skips, and then you've got a little group of 5 crabs that come down and judge you. You got this.
Okay.
It's got a little one with a mustache that's really mean. He's like Simon Cowell.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah. So
Mm.
it's pretty fun.
The Binding of Isaac.
You like
You ever-
throwing fish.
Ever heard of The Binding of Isaac?
I don't think so.
It's
No.
it's interesting. It's like about this like kid, and his mom's like a psychopath, right? And a lot of psychopaths like are really like heavily influenced by religion, right?
Yeah.
And so his mom, like, one day she says she hears this like message from God, and his name's Isaac, and according to her, God tells her to tie him up and sacrifice him, like the story of Isaac in the Bible. And so you run away from her, and it's a dungeon crawler. It's a really
That sounds
interesting
cool.
game. Yeah, it's interesting. It's scary. It's interesting though.
Sounds scary.
That sounds good.
I know it's not an indie game, but Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Really good game.
Yeah, that's the best game though.
That is. Oh my gosh, I love Pokemon. Gone Home. You ever play Gone Home?
I don't think so.
Gone Home's good.
I don't think I played that.
It's only like 2 or 3 hours long. It's short, but
Sounds cool.
it's good.
I like short games.
Yeah.
In a
I
way.
like it.
In a way.
All right. I think that's going to wrap it up for this segment of the Paige Campbell Show, episode 7. I say this segment because after this we will have an interview with Mark Waid, an exclusive interview with Mark Waid, live from Heroes Con. So be sure that you listen till the end of this episode. Mark Waid's on the show. Be sure to follow us on Twitter. I'm at Uncle Paige. Noah's at NoahAiden42.
Noah Aiden 42.
Quentin's at
Plain old Quenton Clarke.
Quenton Clarke. That's good.
But I have the name down.
Right. Yours is
We're talking on that.
pretty much just an advertisement for your music,
Yeah.
which is good. Your music's good.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Spell it wrong.
I
But
might
so
have to ask to have a commercial sometime.
follow him and check out his music for sure.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. What's the name of your album?
My most recent album is 1,000 Shades of Blue EP.
Okay.
My full album is Myopia. So
If they search Quenton Clarke on iTunes, will it just pop up?
It'll come up. You got to spell it right. Those Quenton
Just said that.
and then Clarke.
Yeah, there's an E at the end of Clark.
That's yeah. Watch
key.
that E.
Nick doesn't have a Twitter, so don't follow him. Thanks
Don't
for
follow him even if he gets one.
thanks thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Definitely tell your friends because that's how the word gets spread.
Freaking Virginia Blood Services keeps calling me.
Yeah. You know what I find funny about Virginia Blood Services?
What's that?
They're VBS, like
Oh,
Vacation
yeah,
Bible School.
Except they take your blood test.
Except they take your blood. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Paige Campbell Show, episode 7. We're here live at Heroes Con in Charlotte, North Carolina, and today we have a very special guest, Mark Waid.
Hey, Paige, how you doing this afternoon?
Great.
Yeah.
You probably know Mark Waid. You know, he's an Eisner Award-winning comic book writer, a great writer. I love your work.
Thank you.
It's an honor to have you on the show.
Nice of you to say. Thank you.
So, I've got some questions for you.
Sure.
Just right off the bat, I'm sure you get this all the time, but how'd you get into comics? Oh, yeah. That doesn't apply
Okay,
to
just making sure. Okay.
what we're doing, but thanks.
I started in comics in the early '80s. What I was doing was going to conventions
Mhm.
as a volunteer and getting, taking people to and from the airport and getting to know writers and getting to know editors, and that helped open a lot of doors. Just kind of got me known as a fan who was eager to, to be pleasant to creators, and then from there, I did a lot of freelance work at some of the trade magazines of the time, like Amazing Heroes and stuff like the Wizard magazine of their day, if you will. And from there, that kind of got me an editorial position at DC.
Okay.
And ever since then, it's been a really good ride. I've never had to look for work, and I never really wanted to be a writer. I figured I'd be an editor. But once I had a couple years of editorial under my experience under my belt, I thought, well, this is still a hard job, this writing thing, but I think I could do it, and it seems to have turned out pretty well so far.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Sure, it has, definitely. I was at your panel earlier,
Yeah.
and you mentioned that you had a tough childhood growing up. Like,
Yeah.
your parents weren't really around.
Yeah, I mean, it was, nobody was mean or evil, and there was no
Right.
abuse or anything like that. But it was not a happy, it was not a happy family unit,
Yeah.
and that's true of a lot of people, but it, what it did for, especially because we moved around a lot because of that. I went to something like 13 different schools in 10 years. And so so the superheroes were the constant. Like the Metropolis was always Metropolis. Gotham City was always Gotham City. And no matter where we lived or all the new kids I would meet or whatever, it was, it's hard to make friends when you're moving around that much. But, I got that much more connected to superheroes because they were always there for me.
Yeah. I don't mean to bring that up like
No.
bad thoughts or anything, but like the reason I bring that up is like having that background. Is it hard to write characters that have really supportive and loving parents?
You would think it is, but
Yeah.
but apparently it's not. I mean, I realized when I was writing Fantastic Four, and then before that writing Flash, I realized that I was very comfortable writing family, and I don't know whether that's because it's an idealized notion of what I think it should be, or is like speaks to some yearning inside me or something. But I find it very easy to do.
Okay. Fascinating. So you've worked for both Marvel and DC.
Yeah.
Who did you prefer working for?
It's hard to say. I mean, I like the DC characters better just because those are the ones I grew up
me
with.
Too. I
but
prefer DC characters.
But Marvel has been exceptionally great to work with, and that's the fun thing about Marvel is with those characters, I haven't thought about them all my life like I have with the DC characters, so I can take a different approach to them. But I mean, I've worked everywhere from Dark Horse to to Archie Comics to every place that publishes comics. So
is it really that different of a work environment like DC and Marvel? Or is
not
it pretty
really.
much the same? Yeah.
It's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Just tell your stories and do a good job. Yeah.
So obviously, like a comic, like a big part of comics is art.
Yeah.
The artist. So you've worked with a lot of artists
I've
over
been
the
really
years.
lucky to work with a lot of really good guys. Yeah.
Right. So my question would be like, are there any artists like you feel like you had a lot of chemistry with?
Oh yeah, I mean Michael Ringo first and foremost, who I miss. He passed away, and I miss him every day. But he and I did some good work on Flash and then on Fantastic Four that I'm very fond of, and we were a really good team. And I feel that way about Barry Kitson, who I've done most of my work with Empire and Legion of Superheroes and other things, and Pablo Rivera and I got along great on Daredevil. Not just got along as well as people, but I mean we complemented each other's work, I think, quite well.
Yeah.
And then Chris Samney, the guy I'm doing with Daredevil now, I'm never letting that guy out of my sight. That guy's phenomenal. And I know there's other people I'm leaving out because of time and space, but there's those are the guys who are those are the guys who feel like brothers.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite series of comics or
that I did?
Or that you did, or just in general?
In general, yeah. Actually, that I did Superman Birthright. That's my favorite thing I ever wrote.
Yeah, isn't he your favorite hero?
Yeah, Superman's my favorite guy. Yeah, that's
he's great.
Yeah, and then in terms of comics that I read, man, of all time, anything Steve Gerber did in the 1970s for Marvel, like Defenders, Howard the Duck, Man Thing, is really good. I love those comics. There's this obscure series he did called Omega the Unknown in the 70s that nobody's ever heard of. But I just love that comic. It was my favorite comic coming out at the time, and I still love that comic.
So if you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Super speed. That's easy.
Super speed?
Yeah. That's why
you like the Flash.
Right.
So.
And that's why, because I love the fact that, I mean, I would like to be able to fly. I'd like to be able to have, invisibility and all that stuff. But really, at the end of the day, what frustrates me every day when I go to bed is all the things I didn't get done.
Oh yeah.
And so and all the things that I didn't accomplish, or all the things that that I didn't read or whatever. How cool would that be to just be able to get all your homework done, instantly, and then just be able to relax?
Oh yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
For sure. I want to talk about Thrillbent.
Sure.
Clothes, I guess. You're a big proponent of digital comics.
Big proponent. Yeah.
I have nothing against them, but I personally don't like reading them.
Yeah. No, I understand.
Just
the
way they're read. I prefer to have a comic in my hand.
Sure.
But you sold it very well in the panel.
Yeah.
Is there a way that Thrillbent, the way they're read, is different from Comixology?
It is, in the sense that with Comixology, what you're having to squeeze an entire comics page onto one screen, and it's smaller, it's harder to read, but you can do the guided view thing, which is popping the panels in and out.
Right.
But that's,
See, I don't like that.
No, I don't like that at all. That's art. I mean, I understand why you do it, but it's still an artificial solution to the problem. And it's like I said, it's like reading It's like reading a comic through a cardboard tube.
Yeah.
Whereas with Thrillbent, we take advantage of everything is drawn for the landscape format computer screen or for the iPad screen, so it's all the art's there at once.
Okay.
I mean, fewer panels on the page and fewer, a little less dialogue, so the work is a little bit more expanded. But at the same time, that we don't care how many pages it is per installment. We just want to give you a big chunk of story. So it's not like you're, it's like we work very hard to make sure that with every chapter of a Thrill Bent comic that there's like even a beginning, a middle, and an end to that chapter. There's some sense of, okay, this was enough that it was worth coming here to read this one chapter, and I'll come back next week rather than just wait for it to all stack up.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I do like. There's some series where like I won't read them and then just like read
There's
them
been
all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but we try to make it. We try to make it worthwhile. Where we make it a point. It's worth your coming every week to see what we got.
Yeah. I mean, you sold me on it in the panel. I'm probably going to sign up for it.
Excellent. Thanks.
After this. So, thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
It was an
Absolutely.
honor. Thank you for listening. Be sure to follow us on Twitter. I'm at Uncle Paige. You're at Mark Waid, I think.
I'm at Mark Waid on Twitter and thrillbent.com.
Thrillbent.com.
Yeah.
Definitely sign up for that.
Cool. All right. There you go.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, and share the video with your friends. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Paige Campbell Show, episode 7. We're here live at Heroes Con in Charlotte, North Carolina, and today we have a very special guest, Mark Waid.
Hey, Paige. How you doing this afternoon?
Great. You probably know Mark Waid. You know, he's an Eisner Award-winning comic book writer, a great writer. I love your work.
Thank you.
It's an honor to have you on the show.
Nice of you to say. Thank you.
So, I've got some questions for you.
Sure.
Just right off the bat, I'm sure you get this all the time, but how'd you get into comics? Oh, yeah. That doesn't apply
Okay,
to
just making sure. Okay.
what we're doing, but thanks.
I started in comics in the early 80s. What I was doing was going to conventions as a volunteer and getting, taking people to and from the airport and getting to know writers and getting to know editors. And that helped open a lot of doors. Just kind of got me known as a fan who was eager to be pleasant to creators. And then from there, I did a lot of freelance work at some of the trade magazines of the time, like Amazing Heroes and stuff like the Wizard magazine of their day, if you will. And from there, that kind of got me an editorial position at DC.
Okay.
And ever since then, it's been a really good ride. I've never had to look for work, and I never really wanted to be a writer. I figured I'd be an editor. But once I had a couple of years of editorial under my experience under my belt, I thought, well, this is still a hard job, this writing thing, but I think I could do it, and it seems to have turned out pretty well so far.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. It has, definitely. I was at your panel earlier.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that you had a tough childhood growing up. Like,
Yeah.
your parents weren't really around.
Yeah, I mean, it was, nobody was mean or evil, and there was no abuse or anything like that. But it was not a happy, it was not a happy family unit,
Yeah.
and that's true of a lot of people. But what it did especially because we moved around a lot because of that. I went to something like 13 different schools in 10 years, and so so the superheroes were the constant. Like the Metropolis was always Metropolis, Gotham City was always Gotham City, and no matter where we lived or all the new kids I would meet or whatever, it was it's hard to make friends when you're moving around that much. But I got that much more connected to superheroes because they were always there for me.
Yeah. I don't mean to bring that up
No.
bad thoughts or anything, but like the reason I bring that up is like having that background. Is it hard to write characters that have really supportive and loving parents?
You would think it is, but
Yeah.
but apparently it's not. I mean, I realized when I was writing Fantastic Four, and then before that writing Flash, I realized that I was very comfortable writing family, and I don't know whether that's because it's an idealized notion of what I think it should be, or is like speaks to some yearning inside me or something. But I find it very easy to do.
Okay. Oh, fascinating. So you've worked for both Marvel and DC.
Yeah.
Who did you prefer working for?
It's hard to say. I mean, I like the DC characters better just because those are the ones I grew up
me
with.
Too. I
but
prefer DC characters.
But Marvel has been exceptionally great to work with, and that's the fun thing about Marvel is with those characters, I haven't thought about them all my life like I have with the DC characters, so I can take a different approach to them. But I mean, I've worked everywhere from Dark Horse to to Archie Comics to every place that publishes comics. So
is it really that different of a work environment like DC and Marvel? Or is
not
it pretty
really.
much the same? Yeah.
It's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Just tell your stories and do a good job. Yeah.
So obviously, like a comic, like a big part of comics is art.
Yeah.
The artist. So you've worked with a lot of artists
I've
over
been
the
really
years.
lucky to work with a lot of really good guys. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So my question would be like, Are there any artists like you feel like you had a lot of chemistry with?
Oh yeah, I mean Michael Ringo first and foremost, who I miss. He passed away, and I miss him every day. But he and I did some good work on Flash and then on Fantastic Four that I'm very fond of, and we were a really good team. And I feel that way about Barry Kitson, who I've done most of my work with Empire and Legion of Superheroes and other things, and Pablo Rivera and I got along great on Daredevil. Not just got along as well as people, but I mean we complemented each other's work, I think, quite well.
Yeah.
And then Chris Samnee, the guy
yeah.
I'm doing with Daredevil now,
Daredevil,
I'm never letting that guy out of my sight. You know, that guy's phenomenal. And I know there's other people I'm leaving out because of time and space, but there's those are the guys who are like those are the guys who feel like brothers. You know.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite series of comics or
that I did?
Or that you did, or just in general?
In general, yeah. Actually, that I did Superman Birthright. That's my favorite thing I ever wrote.
Yeah, isn't he your favorite hero?
Yeah, Superman's my favorite guy. Yeah, that's
he's great.
Yeah, and then in terms of comics that I read, man, of all time, anything Steve Gerber did in the 1970s for Marvel, like Defenders, Howard the Duck, Man Thing, is really good. I love those comics. There's this obscure series he did called Omega the Unknown in the 70s that nobody's ever heard of, but I just love that comic. It was my favorite comic coming out at the time, and I still love that comic.
So if you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Super speed. That's easy.
Super speed?
Yeah, that's why
you like the Flash,
right?
So.
And that's why, because I love the fact that I would like to be able to fly. I'd like to be able to have invisibility and all that stuff. But really, at the end of the day, what frustrates me every day when I go to bed is all the things I didn't get done.
Oh yeah.
And so and all the things that I didn't accomplish, or all the things that that I didn't read, or whatever. How cool would that be to just be able to get all your homework done, instantly, and then just be able to relax?
Oh yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
For sure. I want to talk about Thrillbent.
Sure.
To close, I guess. You're a big proponent of digital comics.
Big proponent. Yeah.
I have nothing against them, but I personally don't like reading them.
Yeah. No, I understand.
Just
the
way they're read. I prefer to have a comic in my hand.
Sure.
But you sold it very well in the panel.
Yeah.
Is there a way that Thrillbent, the way they're read, is different from Comixology?
It is, in the sense that with Comixology, what you're having to squeeze an entire comics page onto one screen, and it's smaller, it's harder to read, but you can do the guided view thing, which is popping the panels in and out.
Right.
But that's,
See, I don't like that.
No, I don't like that at all. That's art. I mean, I understand why you do it, but it's still an artificial solution to the problem. And it's like I said, it's like reading It's like reading a comic through a cardboard tube.
Yeah.
Whereas with Thrillbent, we take advantage of everything is drawn for the landscape format computer screen or for the iPad screen, so it's all the art's there at once.
Okay.
I mean, fewer panels on the page and fewer. A little less dialogue, so the work is a little bit more expanded. But at the same time, that we don't care how many pages it is per installment. We just want to give you a big chunk of story. So it's not like you're, it's like we work very hard to make sure that with every chapter of a Thrillbent comic that there's even a beginning, a middle, and an end to that chapter. If there's some sense of, okay, this was enough that it was worth coming here to read this one chapter, and I'll come back next week, rather than just wait for it to all stack up.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I do there's some series where I won't read them and then just read them all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but we try to make it worthwhile, where we make it a point. It's worth your coming every week to see what we got. Yeah.
I mean, you sold me on it in the panel. I'm probably going to sign up for it.
Excellent. Thanks.
After this. So, thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
This is an
Absolutely.
honor. Thank you for listening. Be sure to follow us on Twitter. I'm at Uncle Paige. You're at Mark Waid, I think.
I'm at Mark Waid on Twitter, and Thrillbent.com.
Thrillbent.com.
Yeah.
Definitely sign up for that.
Cool. All right. There you go.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, and share the video with your friends. Thank you.